All right, hey everybody, how's it going? Good morning. So this is just some explanation on converting units. When are we going to use converting units? So you're going to use it in every science class, a lot of math classes. Like you're going from one unit to another. Like if you're measuring time and you're like, how many minutes are there in in one day? Well, you're going to need a conversion factor, right, to multiply and to get these units that you want. And people use these things, when you're weighing stuff and calculating how many calories you need. There's all these different conversions that you can do: chemistry, physics, biology. So you're going to use it everywhere. Even converting money, right? If you have, a certain kind of money, like pesos or something, and you want to figure out how many dollars you have, or Canadian dollars, how many American dollars do you have? You're going to be using conversion factors. What is a conversion factor? Well, it's a ratio used to transform a quantity expressed in one unit into another. So I got some common ones here that we're going to use. These are good ones to memorize. 1 kilo is 1,000. Centi is 100. Milli is 1,000. And this one is just an extra one. Milligrams to centigrams. All right, so I'm going to go through these examples. Let's see. I'm going to go through them step by step. So let's look at example 1. We're going to convert 3 meters to centimeters. Now, 3 meters, those are, each meter is about 3 feet long, right? So we have 3 meter sticks, and we want to figure out how many centimeters are there. There's 100 centimeters in each meter stick, so we're probably going to get 300. See, so if you have these things memorized, you can do them in your head. But, so if we draw a picture of a meter stick, 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So this is your long meter sticks that you guys like to hit each other with, and we have 3 of them, right? But how do we do this mathematically? So the first step is to write down what's given. So this is your given. So we're going to go 3 meters. And we're going to draw a fence. So you draw this fence. This is the nice setup here. And this is our given. What number do you start with? Now we have to find our conversion factor. Do we have a conversion factor that goes from meters to centimeters? So we look for one, and I find in my list or in the book, I know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So now, how do I know what goes on the bottom, what goes on the top? Remember, ratios. I like this from the book. You can put them upside down or upright, whatever you want to do. So the meter can go on top, or the centimeter can go on top. Now, what's going to go on the bottom is the one that we want to cancel. We don't want meters anymore, so we're going to put the meter in the bottom. That means that the 100 is going to go on the top. Also, another way to think about it is that whatever you want to get to should be the last one on the upper right, right? So these meters are going to cancel because anything divided by itself is 1. So meter divided by meters, those cancel. So now the unit I have left is centimeters. So we multiply across. 3 times 100. We divide by the bottom, which is just 1. So we get 300. Oh, and then we still have the centimeters there. So we get 300 centimeters. And that's it. That's how you do these problems. So that you write down what's given, do the fence, find your conversion factor, multiply across the top, divide by the bottom. So, let's do number 2. Let's see. Let's see, we're going to convert 1,516 grams to kilograms. So how many kilograms are in 1,516 grams? All right, so we're going to write down what's given. Put our fence up. Oh, we should write grams in there. So now we look for a conversion factor from grams to kilograms. And you'll see it here. Let's see. Grams to kilograms. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So 1 kilogram. Oops. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, right? So again, what goes in the bottom? Well, we want grams to cancel. So grams go in the bottom. And 1 kilogram will go on top. That's what we want to end up with. So the grams are going to cancel. And now we multiply across the top. Divide by the bottom. And I get 1.516 kg. So this process is going to help out a lot. So what's interesting is like doing algebra with the units as well. And this will help you with formulas, like when we're getting into like gravitation and force. Like we're going to look at their units as well as the number. So there's almost 2 math problems going on here. There's the number, which is magnitude, right? And then there's your unit. And so units are going to follow the same rules as numbers. Like, you know, if you divide, they can cancel each other out. If you multiply, they'll just get next to each other. So our units change as well as the number. So then there's some that require, you can do conversions like in many different ways. And there's going to be some that take more than one step. So let's look at example 3. And we're going to convert 7,200 millimeters to kilometers. So millimeters are very tiny and kilometers are very large. So this is kind of a silly conversion, because kilometers is like how many they're comparable to like how far you drive, right? You can drive kilometers per hour, whereas millimeters are thousandths of a meter stick, right? There's 1,000 millimeters in one yard, 1 meter stick, right? So we're going to use a couple of conversions, and then we find them either in charts, like in our book, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you can also find them just from our notes. All right, so we're going to start off with what's given. 7,200 millimeters. So my thought process here is like, do I have any conversion factors that go from millimeters to kilometers? And we don't. So if we look at here, millimeters to kilometers, no, we don't. But we do have millimeters to meters and then meters to kilometers. So that's why this is 2 steps, because we have to get to kilometers from millimeters. And so we're going to go from millimeters to meters, because we know that one. And then we're going to go from meters to kilometers. So 2 conversion factors. All right. So we're going to use 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. That's what I was talking about with the meter stick. And 1 meter stick, there's 1,000 millimeters. And then we're also going to use in 1 kilometer, there is 1,000 meters. So this is like what we're getting to. If you drive 1,000 yardsticks or meter sticks, then you'll have 1 kilometer. All right, so let's start. So we go from millimeters to meters. So I'm going to put millimeters in the bottom so that they will cancel out, and the meter goes on top. Now I'm going to go from meters to kilometers. So the meters are going to go in the bottom. 1,000 meters and 1 kilometer. See, I end up with what I want. What I'm going to ends up over here. All the other units cancel out. So now I'm just going to multiply across, divide by the bottom. So that's going to look something like this. 72 times 1 times 1. Oops. But that's just 7,200, right? And then I'm going to divide by 1,000 times 1,000. And we could put that in Desmos or a calculator, however you want to do it. You can do it step by step. 7,200 divided by 1,000 divided by 1,000, whatever you want to do. And we're going to get 0.0072 kilometers. All right, so now you guys can do some more practice. I want to do a few more. Let's see. This sheet has a lot of conversion factors up here. Let's look at feet to meters. So 4.25, same process. You start with what's given, and we want to get to meters. Do we have feet to meters? We have feet to miles. So make sure miles is MI, meters is just an M. Here's feet to meters right here. So I want feet to cancel out, and 1 meter on top. Then I'm going to multiply across the top, divide by the bottom. Let me see, let me get my calculator, which I guess I'll use my computer for that. Come on, computer. So we got 4.25 divided by 3.3, and I got 1.29 meters. And I put a box around it. So for all your work, I want to see the fence, I want to see your conversion factors, and I want to see an answer with a square around it. So I want you to show your work. Because you could just go to Google and check your answers, which is great. Check your answers, so make sure you get them right. But I want to see all your work. I want to see the fence. I want to see what's given. I want to see your fence. I want to see your conversion factors. And then I want to see your answer. I don't want just answers on these. All right, so show your work. There was one more place to get conversion factors. Let's do this first one up here. Liters to milliliters. So the book also has a good list of conversions, and so I wanted to show you how this works. Like we're gonna do number one is liters to milliliters, liters to milliliters. So I'm gonna look for milli here. So 1 milliliter equals, and you can see our scientific notation there. We're gonna use the decimal because it's easier. 0.001 meters. So 1 milliliter equals 0.001 liters. So let's look at that. So I'm going to use the conversion 1 milliliter, ml, equals 0.001 liters, L. Right? So 1 milliliter equals 0.001 liters. Then I'm going to do what's given, liters. And then I'm going to put liters in the bottom. 0.001 liter equals 1 milliliter. Liters cancel. Multiply across the top. Divide by 0.001. So let me put that in the calculator. Just using my computer one. 3.4 divided by 0.001. And I get 3,400 milliliters. So each one should look like this, and you can do them on Google Slides like I showed you, or you could write them out and send me a picture. You might have to do 2 pictures, like so I could see them all, like do half and then the other half, something like that. So anyway, that's how you use the book, and that's how you do these problems. And I'll see you in class, or I'll see you online.